Ignite, from dreams to reality.
Consumer behavior, to my understanding, has to do with how you relate with your consumers, how consumer relates with the goods and services that you provide.
Very, very important to have a very good interpersonal relationship with your customers. It goes a long way in business.
What I understand much more about consumer behavior is, satisfying them. When you are satisfying your consumers, you get the best. You have the best staff, they are well trained, you understand, and you are giving them the best product at the best available price. Then you can talk of getting the positive response from your consumers.
A customer will tell some other 10 customers, so it's like your interaction with one person has a lot of impact on you. It could be positive, it could be negative.
Ignite, from dreams to reality.
Now, there's something else you must consider. What do you have financial capacity to trade in? Because the money you will use to carry the stock or buy first grade to offer to the grade 1 Lekki neighborhood person will buy you 10 times that volume for the grade 6 lower range, and you could actually make more profit over your turnover. And so many issues. Your customers can look alike, but they're not necessarily the same. And learning to understand what differentiates them helps you to identify who you really want to sell to, or if you choose to sell to more than one customer type. Do you understand what I'm saying? You could find that your product can be a range between customer A to C. It's not likely you would do A to F, because then it would be so wide. But you want to do from medium to upper, or you want to do from low to medium only. Your concentration, your product selection, your offering is different. Now, let somebody else tell me how he or she will identify our own customer.
For me, my business plan.
Yes.
I know my plan came out of the need I saw. Somehow similar, but it's not exactly as the girl that wanted to do the BRTT. Mine is a mobile restaurant. For instance,
your own is what?
A mobile restaurant.
Mobile restaurant.
Yes.
Okay.
So for me now, I know workers are busy going to work in the morning, and most times they don't have the time to eat before leaving for their offices. Before they can eat, they really need to take a break and go to an eatery. But it's time consuming. So what I do is, why don't we move the food mobile, as in make it mobile, take it to where they are. They don't have to leave their work, delay their target times to complete a job. They can get the food right close to their offices, or even eat it while working.
Okay, so your customer is the worker?
Yes.
Okay, is every worker her customer?
No.
Tell me why.
Everybody is not her customer. Reason being that some persons prefer to bring their food from their houses to work. Secondly, you have some organizations, like she was saying on the island, that have caterers that come to their business environment to cook for their workers. So all you do is, if you're working upstairs or from your office, you just come out, go and buy the food, eat in the cafeteria, and come back to work. You necessarily don't need to leave the compound to get your food. Thank you.
Every worker are not, or workers are not our customers. Bringing from this example, I work with a construction company, and sometimes people hawking food, they go to sites to sell food and distribute to them. So basically, she can also include that, being a mobile kitchen, taking this food not only to offices and corporate organizations, but also going to sites. If she's talking about Ikoyi Lekki Axis, she can go to construction sites, distribute this food to them. The workers and the laborers will also be waiting for her to buy the food.
Okay. Now, I still need to get to the bottom of this question. But from what he has said, are the construction guys her customer? Someone said she should diversify. But you see, part of the problem is that when you have not clearly identified who your own target market is, the real consumers that you want to serve? Because those are decisions you must make. Then you become open to distractions. Because even though you set out to cook for offices, someone is going to say, there's another market here, and there's another market here on construction site. And then you start with this and with that, and you would stretch yourself, and you'll be distracted. Whilst it sounds like a good idea, it depends on what her goal is. So you've got, before you even begin to consider who your true consumer is, you have to have a sense of what your goal is for the business. The woman who carries a bowl of rice or a cooler of rice and has stew in one place did not go anywhere to go and buy some fancy cutlery. She has the plates that if they drop, they will not even break. If it's oily and it's not super clean, nobody is going to question her. In front of the people buying the food, she can take tissue and clean the plate and serve them. They will eat it. So her needs are different because her target market is different. The way she will package and profile herself, she must be able to banter and joke with them. It's a different constitution. Now, we're talking about her customer. In segmenting, it is not every office staff that is our customer. There are many companies that have staff cafeteria, and they have caterers who serve and sell in there. Those companies, but they're not totally out. Because there's some people within those companies that don't like the food in their cafeteria or just like something different. Now, the issue is she's got to identify across offices in an area of office concentration. She would focus on certain streets or neighborhoods that have a high concentration of office workers and then sort through the office workers to find the ones that like to call in the morning and say, what I want for this afternoon is this, because they don't want the general food in their cafeteria. And they want it at 2 o'clock, and it must be delivered then. You know, so many different things. And how can she do that? She can do it Facebook. She can send forms into offices, and people that are interested will fill the forms and send it back, and she will capture that data and create her own database of her customers. Which means even though the customers work in different companies, she must gather together all the people that work in the different companies that have the same nature, that fit into the customer profile that she's seeking after. And that will help her. And she needs a certain number to reach critical mass to be profitable. And all of that must happen. You see, generalization of consumers is very easily done, but it's also a major killer of businesses. Because half the time, especially for us as Nigerians, we are very general in nature. Attention to detail is not one of our strong points. You know, we look at something and say, no, it must be like that. We're quick to make conclusions, and we run off with it, only to discover after that assumptions, remember, assumption is mother of all, fill the gap. And with those assumptions, we run into trouble.
Ignite, from dreams to reality.